Welcome back to NBC News Channel. Today we dive into the oh my god bombshell shaking days of our lives. Rolf has resurrected Adrienne Kyriakis, her shocking return sending Bonnie into total panic mode. The ultimate dilemma explodes: will loyal Justin choose his current fiery wife Bonnie, or the undead love of his life Adrienne rising from the grave to reclaim her throne? This epic love triangle ignites Salem in chaos as family secrets unravel and hearts shatter forever. Adrienne's fiery resurrection. Dr. Rolf's twisted genius strikes again, pulling Adrienne Johnson Kyriakis Judy Evans from cryogenic ice in his secret lab at the Tom Horton Free Clinic, her body preserved since that fatal 2019 crash. E.J. DiMera oversees the horror, injecting experimental serums that jolt her back to life, eyes snapping open with vengeful fire after years of DiMera scheming. Flashbacks haunt viewers, Adrienne racing Sarah Horton to the hospital, only for Orpheus and Evan to sabotage the car, framing Maggie for DUI and orphaning baby Mackenzie. Now revived, Adrienne stumbles into Kyriakis' mansion, disoriented but fierce, demanding answers from a world that mourned her to sooner alphabetical slot after Andre and Abby confirms Rolf's methodical madness. Invented lab logs reveal Rolf whispering perfection in revival as monitors beep, her vital signs surging unnaturally strong. Bonnie's panic unleashed. Bonnie Lockhart, Judy Evans' trash-talking alter ego, and Justin's current spouse, spirals into hysteria spotting her elegant doppelganger at the door screaming "Ghost bitch from hell" in classic Bonnie flair. Theories explode. Is Bonnie a Rolf clone pawn, brainwashed post-crash to infiltrate the Kyriakises, her low-class antics hiding implanted memories of Adrienne's grace? Recent episodes tease Bonnie's glitches flashes of Adrienne's poise mid-argument with Steve, hinting microchips frying under resurrection stress. She claws at Adrienne in a brutal hallway brawl, hair extensions flying, yelling "This body's mine now." But deep down fears losing her con artist empire built on stolen identity. Alex Kyriakis watches in shock, his stepmom memories clashing with Bonnie's chaotic loyalty, amplifying family fractures. Justin's heart-wrenching choice. At the epicenter, Justin Kyriakis Whaley Kurth, torn between wives and a dilemma-ripping Salem effort steady Bonnie, who stood by him through prison scares and Victor's shadow, or soulmate Adrienne, the resilient partner he grieved for years. Their history screams destiny, from 1987 Greek wedding amid Victor's empire clashes, enduring infertility woes with adopted twins, to 2010 remarriage healing hope Brady Flinksadrine's pure heart always won. Bonnie offers raw passion, recent romps sparking Justin's wild side, her Lockhart scheme shielding him from DiMera threats like Clyde's Abby ties. Yet Adrienne's return floods him with nostalgia-eater reunions in Dubai off-screen, her support for gay son Sonny's coming out mirroring his own redemptions. Analysis predicts Justin picks Adrienne. In a rain-soaked mansion scene, he cradles her revived form, whispering "My angel's home," ditching Bonnie's pleas of "I made you laugh again." Loyalty to the grave-trumping firebrand. Family alliances crumble. Sonny Kyriakis mediates the mess, his progressive vibe clashing with Adrienne's traditional fire and Bonnie's brash support during his Victor feuds. Steve Johnson, brother to the resurrected, confronts Rolf demanding "What hell did you unleash?" linking Orpheus's crash to Clyde's murders via EJ funding. Maggie, exonerated post-frame job, hugs Adrienne tearfully, vowing revenge on clinic labs hiding more tubas perhaps Tony DiMera next. Sarah Horton relives Mackenzie loss, bonding with Adrienne over shared tragedy, while Kayla Brady suspects Bonnie's evil twin origins from Rolf's Bonnie recasts. Invented twist, a DNA scan exposes Bonnie as 70% Adrienne clone, forcing Justin's hand amid exploding cryotubes. Rolf and EJ's doom plot thickens. EJ's command room buzzes with monitors showing multiple revivals. Dr. Mark Green redeeming Via leaks to chat about Abby's ice-preserved body. Rolf cackles over Kyriakis' destabilization serum, aiming undead Adrienne at Victor's remnants, but her free will glitches the plan. New Stefano whispers from shadows, puppeteering via Stefan's brain, escalating to Bonnie Adrienne fusion horror minds in one body rampaging Salem. Justin's choice triggers backlash. Bonnie allies with Orpheus for payback, kidnapping Sonny, forcing Adrienne's heroic save proving her worth. Climactic love verdict. Justin chooses Adrienne, the wife from beyond her revival, mends their fractured vows in a church scene echoing 1987. Rings exchanged as Bonnie storms out cursing dead meat wins. Bonnie pivots to Steve flings, exposing lab horrors for redemption, but just an Adrienne solidify. Birthing a miracle baby via Rolf Tech to heal Mackenzie grief. Salem quakes, resurrections cascade, alliances shatter, but true love resurrects strongest. Adrienne's return cements her as Kyriakis Queen Eternal. Part 2. Days of Our Lives Weekly Preview. Confessions, crises, and a new hostage as one young DiMera honors her father's wish. The week of November 24-28 on Days of Our Lives promises to be one of those rare stretches where nearly every family in Salem finds themselves touched by turmoil, fear, hope, and unexpected revelations. As Thanksgiving settles over the town, most households are preparing for warm family gatherings, comforting meals, and cherished traditions. But this year, some families are confronting truths far more complicated than carving a turkey or sharing a blessing. In classic Salem fashion, the holiday week brings together a blend of emotional drama and shocking twists, and for several beloved characters, their lives may never look the same again. A father's wish and a daughter's determination. One of the most touching developments of the week centers on young Charlotte DiMera. Played by Autumn Gendron, Charlotte is typically seen as a quiet, gentle presence in the DiMera family, a household usually surrounded by plotting, rivalries, and secrets. Yet this week, Charlotte steps forward in a rare moment of courage and purpose. With her father embroiled in long-running conflicts and the family reeling from a variety of crises, Charlotte takes it upon herself to fulfill a special wish of his. The show hasn't yet revealed the exact nature of this task, but previews hint that it's something meaningful. Perhaps even healing a rare moment of sincerity in a family that often struggles to show affection. Whether her gesture will strengthen bonds or stir up new complications remains to be seen, but viewers can be sure that Charlotte's quiet determination will touch her family in unexpected ways. Trouble deepens at the DiMera Crypt. While Charlotte is trying to bring comfort to her father, the DiMera Crypt, a place marked by years of secrets, schemes, and even a few miracles, is about to gain yet another hostage. The crypt has long served as a symbol of the darker side of DiMera history, and once again, it becomes a focal point for danger and suspense. Spoilers remain vague about exactly who is being held or who is behind the abduction, but the very mention of the crypt suggests something deeply unsettling. The DiMeras have rarely used that chamber for anything good, and its return to the storyline tells longtime fans that a powerful and dangerous plot is underway. Whether this new hostage will serve as a bargaining chip, a victim of revenge, or part of a twisted scientific experiment remains to be seen, but Salem history teaches us that no one ends up in that crypt by accident. Chanel's unexpected encounter. Meanwhile, Chanel Dupree DiMera finds herself facing a surprising encounter of her own. Played by Raven Bowens, Chanel has grown tremendously over the years, from a carefree young woman to someone balancing marriage, business responsibilities, and family loyalty. Yet despite all her experience, she isn't prepared for what she's about to run into this week. Although details are scarce, previews suggest a meeting that may shake her perspective or pull her into someone else's drama. Chanel has a habit of finding herself at the crossroads of complicated situations, and this occasion seems no different. Whether it's an old acquaintance, a new enemy, or someone with vital information, her path may shift just when she thinks she's found stable ground. A sweet treat turns into a medical emergency. Across town, a far more frightening situation unfolds, one that begins innocently, but quickly turns into a medical crisis. It all starts when Rachel Black, played by Alice Halsey, makes a disastrous decision with an ice cream sundae. By adding pistachio ice cream, something she should never have done, she triggers a severe allergic reaction in Sarah Horton Kyriakis. Lindsay Godfrey delivers a gripping performance as Sarah collapses and is rushed to the hospital, her body reacting violently to the pistachios. The normally joyful Thanksgiving week becomes a nightmarish blur of doctors, emergency equipment, and terrified family members. What makes the situation even more painful for those involved is the knowledge that this was not a simple childhood mistake. Rachel's emotional state has been fragile for months, and her behavior is becoming increasingly unpredictable. Brady Black faces his daughter's darkest confession. Brady Black, played by Eric Martsolf, finds himself navigating one of the most difficult parenting moments he has ever faced. It's heartbreaking enough to see his young daughter responsible, even unintentionally, for Sarah's crisis. But what follows shakes him even more deeply. Rachel, overwhelmed and panicked, confesses something Brady never expected to hear from his own child. She claims she remembers shooting E.J. DiMera. Brady is stunned, confused, terrified. This isn't the sort of memory a child simply invents, and if it's true, it changes everything. For weeks, maybe months, viewers have known that something wasn't right about Rachel's emotional state, but this revelation takes the story into territory far more serious than mischief or tantrums. Trying to make sense of her memory, Brady turns to Belle Black, played by Martha Madison. Belle has long been the family's voice of reason, someone who can look at even the darkest situations with calm clarity. But even she may find herself shaken by the truth unfolding before them. Rachel becomes a hospital patient in more ways than one. As the memories come rushing back, Rachel soon reaches a breaking point of her own. The trauma, the guilt, the fear, all of it becomes too heavy for her to carry. She is eventually admitted to the hospital, not simply as a concerned family member, but as a patient. Her emotional well-being becomes just as urgent as Sarah's allergic reaction. Doctors and specialists must now determine whether Rachel's recollections are accurate, whether she is suffering from repressed trauma, or whether someone has influenced her memories. Years of Salem history have shown that the DiMeras are more than capable of manipulating minds, and the possibility of brainwashing or memory tampering cannot be ignored. For Brady, this is perhaps the most heartbreaking twist of all. He has tried to protect his daughter from the darkest parts of her family legacy, yet here she is frightened, overwhelmed, and burdened by a crime she believes she committed. Kristen's false confession haunts the family. The emotional weight grows heavier when the truth about Kristen DiMera comes into focus. Played by Stacey Hyduke, Kristen had previously confessed to shooting E.J. and even went to jail for it. She did this not because she was guilty, but to protect Rachel from the consequences of her actions. Now, with Rachel remembering the shooting, Kristen's sacrifice becomes even more tragic. She gave up her freedom, her stability, and her relationship with her family, all to shield her child. But the truth has a way of rising, especially in Salem. Kristen's false confession leaves deep scars, not just for her, but for everyone involved. And with Rachel's memories resurfacing, the entire DiMera and Black families must now confront a past they tried desperately to bury. A Thanksgiving week filled with trials, tears, and turning points. While most families in town are sharing meals, counting blessings, and celebrating traditions, the Black and DiMera families find themselves struggling with revelations that could reshape their futures. A young girl grappling with traumatic memories. A mother who went to prison for a crime she didn't commit. A father torn between love and fear. A family dealing with the consequences of secrets kept far too long. And far away from all of this, the DiMera crypt waits, holding a new hostage and promising another twist in a story already overflowing with them. This Thanksgiving, Days of Our Lives reminds viewers that family in all its joy and in all its sorrow remains at the heart of Salem. And sometimes, the truth we fear the most is the very truth that sets everything in motion.